Was that the slate?
No. There.
Hello. Welcome to the Krisha and Frank Show. I'm Krisha Brooke.
I'm Frank Murphy. Thank you so much
for joining us.
Listening on your podcast app of choice.
And thank you for subscribing to our YouTube channel, Krisha and Frank.
Yeah, that's all fun stuff. That's like how we get, that's the fastest we've ever gotten the business out of the way.
It is. And also, if you would like to have an Audible trial, you can go to audibletrial.com/Krisha and Frank.
You could read them in your librarian voice.
You get 30 days free. And then after that, you get to keep one download, whether you decide to keep the subscription to Audible or not.
There you go. audibletrial.com/Krisha and Frank.
Thank you.
You caught a glimpse of yourself.
I did.
Is what happened. I noticed it. I was watching your eyes.
I'm
like you're doing the spiel for Audible on autopilot, but then you saw yourself and you started to get
tickled.
What
I saw? I saw the reflection of the light in my glasses.
Oh, like my publicity photos from Comedy World.
Yeah.
But also, you jokingly said before we started that you were in your librarian outfit.
I look very librarian-y.
Is it because of the glasses?
I think the bangs in the glasses.
Bangs in the glasses. So you're very Zooey Deschanel.
Oh, yeah. I like her.
What? I've seen pictures of her side by side where she doesn't look anything like the same person. She looks like two different people.
She is one of those people that looks like two different people.
And the caption was, I finally understand how Lois Lane didn't recognize Clark Kent as Superman.
It's true.
Because Zooey Deschanel could be whomever, Supergirl, Batgirl, whomever, / other personality. It makes sense all of a sudden.
It's very true. Incognito self.
Have you ever wanted to have a split personality? Or not, let me rephrase that. Have you ever wanted to have a dual identity?
Ego?
Alter ego? Because as an actress, you...
When I was in radio, I did. I actually just told that story to someone.
What?
That that I kept getting into trouble for things that I had posted on Twitter that were completely innocuous. And I kept getting into trouble for a picture that I posted of an album cover that wasn't even a picture. It was a drawing. But because it was a tiny, tiny bit risque, and it really wasn't at all. It was a drawing. It was an album cover of a band I was listening to.
Yeah.
And the album cover was a drawing of a woman's back.
Okay.
And
It gets down to the lower back part?
Right. And it's just like the band's name was like a tattoo, but it was a drawing.
Yeah.
And I got in trouble for that and was told I had to take it down.
On your personal social?
On my personal social. So
that's part of the issue when you work for a broadcast company is they think they own your
I blocked everyone that I worked with on my personal socials, and then I created a whole alter ego social where I just posted innocuous dumb things about work.
Do you still have it? Well, you're on social hiatus, so it makes me...
No, I deleted all of those things.
Yeah.
And it's like when I've gone through a breakup, other than my marriage, when I've gone through a breakup with someone, I delete every picture. I've deleted everything. The existence of that human is not...
That seems harsh. But I've not broken up, so I
know this story.
I know. I'm talking about... I'm relating it to myself.
Right.
I'm trying to think that... I mean, I don't know. What would I do? I guess because you said other than your marriage.
Right.
So that's the qualifier because I have my marriage.
Right. Because we share children and we still care about each other deeply.
And I guess the girls I dated in college it was never a serious enough relationship that if I could even find the pictures, I wouldn't mind having one. And I'm friends with them on Facebook to this day. So
typically with people that I've either dated or friendships that we're not as close, but there's this one particular relationship that I deleted everything. And I did the same thing with radio. When I left radio, I deleted everything. Well, because it was better for me.
Deleted the pictures.
The pictures, I deleted the accounts.
Where do they go? Are they just gone forever? Because some of those stuff are, I would think...
I deleted them out of the cloud too.
Wow.
Yeah, there is you will not find I've gone to extensive work to even delete mentions and things that I've liked on social media from particular people.
Now I found some stuff of you from the radio days.
Yeah.
But you don't have control over it because it's on someone else's YouTube account.
Which is fine, but I got rid of those. I got rid of those posts, but I got rid of those accounts that I had, because I had like an Instagram that was Radio Krisha.
Okay.
And it's gone now.
Of course it's gone. Yeah.
Right.
That makes sense. I understand that.
I didn't change it or change the name of it.
When I've lost a job, I have, either remove myself as an administrator of the pages, or in most cases, if it's a big enough outfit and they have enough employees, by the time you get home from being fired, you've been removed.
Oh, yeah.
But there was another job where it was a smaller startup company, and I removed myself, and because I thought it was good practice. I thought that's what I should do.
Right.
I take myself off as an editor or admin of their Facebook page, and log out of their Instagram and all those things.
Just to say that there's no ill will, there's no harm. Like, I intend.
I think that must have ticked off the guy who ran the company, because he then unfriended me.
Oh, so he thought you were trying to make a point by like, I don't want control over this anymore, when you were really just saying, I don't want control over this anymore.
Yeah, this is good business practice. For me. You're not paying me. I should not have access to your social media, because that way when somebody screws it up,
it ain't me.
It can't be me.
Yeah, it ain't me. No, I think that's a good thing. I think that's a good thing to sometimes just, that's why I'm off of social media, just to clear. Which brings me to this.
How long are you staying off? Originally, it was going to be a month.
Originally, it was going to be a month. I'm definitely gonna stay.
We're halfway through. Today's the 15th.
I'm definitely gonna stay off longer.
Okay.
I may Twitter. I may go back to, but not as much as I was. Like, I would spend. A lot of comedians.
I mean, Twitter is mainly the domain of comedians and newscasters.
Right, and most of the people that I follow on Twitter, I only
follow
lunatics.
Also lunatics. I forgot to mention.
I only follow about 200 people on Twitter, and most of them I know personally, or they're like Leslie Jones or people like that, or Shantira Jackson, like improvisers, comedians that I like and associate with.
Yeah, but I only follow people I actually know.
Like you and I talked about.
But I know a lot of people.
When we talked about last week, when being off of social media, when all of the craziness happened, it was an interesting time.
Yeah, you started texting me
because I text messaged you because I felt this disconnect because I was by myself at home.
I'm at Guitar Center looking at cables.
I was by myself at home, and I can't remember what I'd been doing that day, but I'd been out and about, and I came home. And, I was supposed to go and have sushi that night.
Yeah.
And a sushi date. And I was sitting at home and I was watching the news on YouTube. And I was feeling so disconnected because my initial reaction was to log into Twitter.
Which would mean reinstalling the app because you had deleted it from your phone.
But my initial reaction was to log into Twitter to have commonality, to feel that I wasn't alone in feeling what I was feeling about everything happening. I text messaged you because I was like, are you seeing this? And just in the sense that you were my friend, and I was just like, I just don't want to feel alone in this.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, we didn't talk much about it. We were like, this sucks. Yes, it does. Cool. Blah, blah, blah.
My comments were kind of zoomed out.
Right.
A bit. I obviously I was not at home. Right. I was literally at the store.
Guitar Center.
Well, I was getting a new screen protector for my phone, and I was shopping for XLR cables at Guitar Center. So my comments were very much zoomed out, and they were on the state of when you have two factions that don't hear each other. And, obviously I've got friends on both sides of the aisle, but they don't hear each other. And I feel alone in the middle. I feel stuck in the middle because I can't talk to those people, and I can't talk to those people, and they certainly can't talk to each other.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what I don't know.
Well, and it's like I told you, it's a conversation that I'd had months ago with my friend Jennifer, that because she would say, I just don't understand how people can think like this. And I said, the exact same way that you feel is the exact same way that somebody else feels. They deeply as you feel that you can't understand how somebody would think like that. They feel that deeply and that truly about, they can't understand how you think the way you think.
So if you realize that, if you can zoom out a little bit and realize the conviction, because that's what's happening is people we know, whether it's social media is the easiest example to use, but I think it's happening in real life where you're purging and removing people from your life for the only reason is that you disagree on national politics, when in reality you can you can work together. You can have...
I think that when you cross a humanity barrier with me, when you cross... there's a difference in disagreeing politically and disagreeing as a human being.
Okay.
And for me, the people that I honestly, I haven't disassociated myself with many people. I can think of two, more on a human level than political, because
that's where I'm worried.
Racism is a big thing for me.
That's where I get scared is when the disagreements are on... Race, to me, the racism is not...
I like that we weren't going to talk about this. But
I know. The racism is not the argument or discussion that I think is what I don't have that in mind.
Right.
I'm not thinking of that as the human level disagreement.
Right.
Because I'm thinking of so many others. But when we get to that point where we have different views of the meaning of life,
of what
humanity
happens,
is, what happens to you when you die, all the things,
right?
What is, when it gets down to a theological level, practically, is what we're talking about, and that's one of the great quotes from a Christian theologian, is that ultimately all arguments, all disagreements, all wars, all political everything, it's all ultimately a theological difference. But when that divide becomes so great, then really that's what I worry. I think, well, how can we be in the same country if we're two different philosophies of how to do everything?
For me, if you want, I can disagree with you politically. I can disagree with you theologically. I would love to have a conversation with someone where we have differing opinions, and because you and we've had conversations.
Well, you and I know there's some hot button issues where we would be on other sides,
right? But
we also decided that we still like each other and we're okay,
and we can talk about those things, but we can also choose to say we disagree on them, but it does not change how we feel about each other, because we both approach humanity. We both approach how to be a good person and how to treat people kindly, and how we should feel when we're out in the world as a human, and how we should treat other people as a human, regardless of whether you agree or disagree. And that's why we can be friends and still disagree, because we ultimately agree on a basic humanity level.
Right. And that's the way it used to be with Democrats, Republicans. They all had the same agreement.
We still like people.
On humanity, and then it was just a matter of who's paying for this and who's paying for that. That's where you'd argue. My budget's not going to do this, my budget's not. Anyway.
Ooh, speaking of budgets.
Oh, you got to save money somehow.
Bingo bango. Do you need some trees cut down and you're on a budget? Steve's Tree Service can help you.
Right, and then you can use the logs for firewood. Save even more money.
You can.
Although I did not. I had them. I said, I don't want them. I would like them to be removed, please. That was part of the price.
And they're known for their cleanup.
Complete cleanup. Steve and Renee got rid of everything I needed. And it's just, this is my first winter. Obviously, I had them taken down on Halloween, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's just odd.
Wait till spring comes and things start blooming and there's leaves back.
It's going to be beautiful. Because Jerry keeps saying to me, what are you looking at? And I'm like, I can't.
The absence of trees.
I'm looking out the window. I mean, there's a whole nother neighborhood down the hill, but there's traffic. There's coming and going. Look, somebody's getting UPS.
Trash man.
So that's because of Steve and Renee cutting down all that stuff that was really annoying.
Yeah.
And as I said, when Megan and Frank Jr. were visiting over Christmas, they were very impressed with how much better it looks. So I recommend Steve's Tree Service, and I suggest that you do too. They're all over East Tennessee, Knox, Sevier, Blount, Loudoun, Anderson, Jefferson counties. You can call them at 865-257-6214.
And you can find them on Facebook, where they're highly rated. They're rated on Yelp and Google, but you can find them Steve's Tree Service, and they're in the Knoxville ones. And I actually have friends who just looked them up.
Nice.
Yep.
They're good folks, and they'll if you got they love the way they're proud of the way they deal with elderly citizens who oftentimes have tree issues. So if you got older relatives, send them to Steve's Tree Service as well.
Yeah. So in the vein of me being on social hiatus and all of the crazy tumultuous things going on in life, I have decided that I kind of like the whole meditating yoga anyway, but I found this book called I Am Here Now, and it is a creative mindfulness guide and journal.
So journal means it's blank.
Well, kind of.
See, how much do they charge you?
Well, it was $17, but I got it on discount.
Because of the blank pages. They should charge you... It should be $8.50.
You're already overthinking.
I'm just saying, it's not...
There aren't blank pages.
I just saw blank pages.
But there's a reason for them.
Okay. Well, all right. Maybe not $8.50, but maybe it's certainly $10. 17 is a bit much because there's a lot of blank space. Look, they didn't even pay for all the ink. You could have gotten for $17. You could have gotten a book with ink on every page.
You're right, and I figured that you're gonna hate the two things that I've been doing with my time.
Why? Why? I don't hate anything.
I don't
about
think that you hate it.
You know that I don't.
But I feel like if you were asked to do this, that you would.
Oh, okay. Because there's certain things I don't like to do because I'm persnickety.
It's not that you're persnickety.
Like painting.
Okay.
I don't like painting.
There's a poet.
Arts and crafts.
There's a poet and a writer. His name is Ross Gay. And for 1 year, he every day wrote down things that delighted him.
Okay.
And he has a book called The Book of Delights.
All right.
And I love, in his book, he talks about that by intentionally looking for things that delighted him, he found that there was more delight than he could have known. And this is one of those things.
If you go to the library, you would say, I'd like the Gay Book of Delights, please.
I would like the Gay Book of Delights.
That's how you would refer to it.
And this, when I saw this book and I started flipping through it in the store, it delighted me in the idea. So, okay. Let's say.
Wait, is he in this book?
No,
it has got nothing to do with him.
This is from the Mindfulness Project.
Someone else. All right.
But here's one of the things. A random leaf I found. Start on the next page. So here's this.
So there's nothing on the first page.
Right. Place your leaf here. Staple this and the previous page together where marked.
Turn. Let's show everybody there.
Okay.
All right. So you find a leaf and you staple
it here.
But doesn't that destroy the value of the book? All right.
And then on the next page.
Okay. You staple a leaf.
And now
it's going to disintegrate.
And now appreciate. Trace the leaf between the pages with your finger. Use a crayon or a colored pencil to rub over the leaf. Look at the shape and all the little veins that are revealed. Notice the smell of the leaf.
That's why Steve's Tree Service and veins.
Turn back to page 113 and repeat. And so it's you're just paying attention. This is about being here now. This is the page of rage.
It's mostly blank also.
Down here, the aggressive scribble box.
Okay.
The pencil stab point.
Do you find reason to do these things?
You get to profanity peak. You can swear in here.
All right.
It's about just being in the now. There's
I don't know that my emotions have ever gotten extreme enough that I would need this.
It's not even like it's just an experiment in yourself. There's one where it has you sit still for 15 minutes and then write about your experience and rate your experience of sit still and do absolutely nothing. And at the bottom of the page, it says, and this made me think of you when I was reading it.
The stress of being still for 15 minutes?
It says that that more than 30% of people say that they would rather, and it was in this study, that they would rather issue themselves an electric shock than sit still for 15 minutes without doing anything.
Oh, how hard of a shock?
Exactly.
Like it was like a 9-volt battery on the tongue? Because I would do that multiple times.
So my friend Chris suggested that while I'm on sabbatical, I record myself doing some of these. Because at the very beginning...
And then when you get pissed off, you can delete them from the cloud and they'll never exist.
At the very beginning, it says, this book belongs to, and it says, if found, please. And the options are read, use, return, sell, or burn. And I have asked that people read it and use it.
Wait, this is not a burn? I thought, what about your burn books?
No, this isn't a burn book. And then it has you a self-portrait drawn with your eyes closed. It is what it is. And that was my self-portrait that I drew with my eyes closed.
Can you show that? That's beautiful. I enjoy it because of the weirdness of it.
That's my self-portrait.
I can't draw at all. Eyes open, eyes closed. I got nothing.
But I drew that with my eyes closed, and I was like, "That's pretty me."
It's very modern art. It's practically Picasso.
Yeah,
it's lovely. Well done.
So this is just
something. Do you care
something...
that your email address? Do you need to blur your email address?
No, KrishaBrook@gmail.com. Email me, blow me up. I don't care. And then the other thing that I'm doing that I thought that you would either hate or love is paint by sticker.
Well, I love that you're doing it and not me. Mm-hmm. How about that? Is that reasonable?
But here's the cool thing about it.
What do you mean paint by sticker? I don't understand.
It's got vintage travel posters. All right,
so there's a... Did you finish this one? Is this one you did?
Was actually...
Can I touch it?
You can touch it. This was gifted to me, and this one was already done by the person that gifted it to me.
Okay, as an example.
Correct. So what you do...
Wow, that's a terrible gift if they're going to do...
If you want to do Holland, here's all the stickers.
month.
And then you go to the Holland poster and you sticker it in.
So it's like a jigsaw puzzle with stickers.
It's like a paint by number and a puzzle combined.
Okay. I would be too anxious about making a mistake.
I know.
I would.
You would despise every bit of this, wouldn't you?
But there's no one they made zero mistakes on that Moscow example that you showed.
Yeah.
So it's precision.
Yes.
It's about scoring 100%.
Yes.
That's
so
the
here's
point.
Holland.
So it's a windmill with nothing. Have you started on it?
Nope.
Yeah. See the Holland. All right. So you've got to find the matching stickers and
put them exactly as they are.
I don't have the eye-hand coordination to get the. How could I would never ever be able to get C5 in there? That's an explosive. Isn't C5 an explosive? Or am I thinking it's not
C4?
Oh well, I couldn't get that in there either. But I would end up using C4 to blow up the book by the time.
I'm not gonna lie. I am so enjoying doing so many things that I would not be doing otherwise. Because these are things that I would not be doing if I were on social media. And I know that that's crazy, but I spent way too much time just being idle on social media.
See, now I need your help. Maybe we can talk about this even just off the show. Because I also decided, like you, I decided, well, what if I just took a day? I don't know if I could do a month, but what if I just took a day on the weekend when I don't have to post the show links?
Stuff, right.
And I just see what... But the temptation was strong. I didn't delete the apps, but I moved them off the home screen. I moved them to further back.
It's very strange, isn't it?
So I found myself tapping where they used to be, and something else opens. I'm like, oh, that's a nice surprise.
Cool.
I'm watching, that's YouTube. But
it's a weird thing.
But there's things I should be doing, want to be doing, that...
Think of... if you're in a doctor's office and you're going to pass the time, for the most part, you see people on their phones.
Is that like passing a stone?
Yeah.
Yes, you do see people pass on the phones, right?
Right. And it was my tendency, if I were waiting somewhere, to pull up social media and just, what are other people doing?
Of course. So now you don't.
I just stand and watch people. And I stand and I look around and there I am.
In the long run, it's better for the show, because now that you remind me of that, we were at the grocery store over the weekend, and Jerry caught me drifting off because I was trying to do a comedy routine or a show bit over something I was observing. Yeah.
So it's good. It's a good thing. But yeah, so it's called I Am Here Now. It's a mindfulness project. You can check it out. In fact, we can
put a link to it.
I was going to say, we can put a link on Amazon if you would like to get it.
But this one you can't listen to it.
You have to get it.
But we'll put the link, and because we got an affiliate marketing deal with Amazon, so I can put both those books up there.
Yeah, and it's just a really
in the comments. Click on that.
Yeah, it's a really cool thing to do, and right now we're not supposed to be going anywhere, so
yeah. All right.
Well,
we'll go nowhere this weekend. And
that is lies.
Well, no, there's an Agatha Christie show on PBS Sunday night I'd like to watch.
Yes, I can't wait. It's the replay of it.
No, I think Sunday the 17th is the day, the premiere.
Oh, there's a replay of something.
This is a biography of Agatha Christie.
Okay, no, this is not.
It's on a 10 o'clock
There's something
Sunday
else
night.
On PBS that's a replay that I'm excited about.
Well, Agatha Christie's awesome. All right.
Okay.
We'll be back on Monday, so thanks so much for liking and sharing, or better yet, actually communicating in person to a real human being.
Yeah.
And say, you know what you would like?
Yeah.
I'm talking to you face to face, eye to eye, over the phone, however it is, text message, whatever. Communicate to someone your appreciation for our little show and get them to watch and see if you have that in common.
Yeah. Connect.
Find some commonality.
Commonality. Quit you arguing. Get off Parlor. See you Monday.
Bye.
That was a pretty good episode.